53rd GST Council meeting, and fortunately, we have presence of our Central Council member CA Durgesh Kabra ji with us, and we have a man who was driving before 3 years, who was driving WRC as a speaker with us, CA Manish Gadia sir. I request both of them to join on the dais. I request coordinator Virag Shah and Harshal Ajmera to escort both of them on the dais. Let's welcome with a big round of applause. So before we begin, I request everyone to rise up for ICI motto song.
Yaesha supteshu jagrati, Yaesha supteshu jagrati, Kamam 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 kavarsho, pursho, nirvimadaha, nirvimadaha, Tadeva shukrada brahma, tada brahma, Tadeva mritamucchade, Tasmin lokaha, shataha, Sarve taduna sarvikaschana kyatikaschan Etadvaita, 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 etadvaita.
Thank you. Welcome back. Friends, on this 1st July, we have completed our 75 year as an Institute of Chartered Accountant in India. And today, I can say we are the truly financial soldier of this country, where India is growing towards the 5 trillion economy very soon, US dollar economy. And friends, when we are seeing that the GST collection is also rising up, in the recent, I can say in June, it is crossed around 1.74 lakh. And when I can say we are the principal stakeholder of this process, we are supporting to government for day and night for all the initiative, for all the tax collection, and we are the truly a financial soldier of this country. Friends, at WRC also, we are doing various programs on a regular basis. And in August month, we are having one of the biggest program of WRC, that is our regional conference. And that time, we are conducting this program in a different way, where we are planning to have more than 3,000 chartered accountant participation with the exhibition of almost 50 stalls over there. So my request to each one of you, please go on WRC website and do join for this biggest events of this year that we are hosting at Geo Convention Center, and in which we are going to discuss about the AI tools in audit and accounts, ESG, international taxation, offshore opportunity, and so many things related to value unlocking in the new age entities like that. So my request to each one of you, please do join for such a great program. And friends, personally, I believe that networking and collaboration is very important in our profession. So I request to each one of you, whenever you are coming to WRC, please do networking with your professional colleagues and connect for the collaboration so we can grow with the handholding. With these, now I request our Central Council member who is dedicatedly serving to our profession from last 26 years, I can say, the CA Durgesh Kabra ji for his address.
गुड इवनिंग वन एंड ऑल. हीड योर रेस्पॉन्स या. ये बड़ी तकलीफ का मामला है ना. एक तो सबसे जब मैं व्हेन आई एंटर्ड इन दिस हॉल, आई सॉ दैट एवरीबडी वाज सिटिंग ऑन दी लास्ट चेयर्स, राइट, एंड नोबडी वाज देयर on the front chairs. See, when the day will come for the chartered accountants, we will start leading from the front. If this is going to happen in time to come also, that everybody sits on the backside, see, the time has completely changed. And we have to change. The chairman, the past chairman of the WIRC, I would not say chairman, but past chairman of the WIRC and the speaker for today, Manish Gadia ji, a very dynamic, immediate past secretary of the WIRC, Saurabh Ajmera, did wonderful work last year when he was the secretary and could take the WIRC on a different height. Then Harshil Ajmera, the past chairman, immediate past chairman of Navi Mumbai branch. The another dynamic person from Navi Mumbai did fantastic programs at Navi Mumbai. And about Viraksha, nothing to be said. A man who is dedicated for sharing the knowledge. So much of events, variety of topics, and there Virag is present with no monetary gain, no monetary big gain also. It is only your commitment charges, but he shares lot of knowledge to all of us and always available to ICAI, WIRC for any of the work which is being assigned to him. All the members present here, my humble request to all of you, please change that we need to lead from the front. If we do not come into that position, the stakeholders will continue to say and continue to raise fingers on us because we are backbenchers. We are back office managers. And the moment you become the front office managers, then the things are going to change like anything. Everybody will start respecting in a different way, the way in which we are being seen today. As far as GST is concerned, it's one kind of compliance work for you, for the nation, and for your client, which is being done. And we are the biggest supporter of this initiative of Government of India. But if we are not able to show all these things from the front, I think this is not going to help us. Friends, today the subject which is being taken by him is the recent announcement and changes which has taken place in the 53rd Council of the GST. And by the numbers I can see that these kind of programs are organized by WIRC, not only in the BKC building, but from Borivali to Churchgate at each study circle, from CST to Thane at each study circle, and even at branches. So, with this motive, we are trying to build the skill set of our all the members across our region, and that's how we are going to be in a better position to serve all the stakeholders. I'm sure in time to come, we will be the leader. Prime Minister Modi feels that one firm of Indian origin, not one, I would at least one, I would say that he has suggested for four, how we can contribute, how we can join hands together, so Indian origin firm becomes the multinational firm. And let me tell you, this initiative is being taken from the government side. Ministry of Corporate Affairs Secretary Manoj Govil has made twice to us. He had a meeting in Delhi with various firms of Delhi which are large in size, that how large in size, Indian origin, these firms can become the multinationals. The ideas are being asked from you. Please keep your mind also open. Throw away the ideas that how the Indian firms can lead across the globe. When Tata's is having the presence and has become multinational company, when Birla has become multinational company, when Infosys is having multinational presence, when TCS is having multinational presence, and some other corporates are having, why the Indian Chartered Accountant should not have the multinational presence? And that is the thought process behind it, that the Indian Chartered Accountant, Indian origin Chartered Accountant firm should lead in time to come. Because when we talk of having our economy as third largest by 2047, today as fifth largest in the world, then definitely the numbers which we are having, which is 4 lakh plus as far as the chartered accountants are concerned, students 9 lakhs, making total of around 30 lakhs, and we are the largest accounting body in the world. And when we say and we claim so that we are largest, then definitely it is a need for all of us that how the Indian firm starts leading across the globe, like some big 4, big 6, big 8, whatever it is you tell, they are having their presence and they are leading. It is time for all of us to introspect, to think beyond, to think above, and see that how we can change. Unless and until we don't start seeing in that particular direction, probably we will not be in a position to see the light of the day to create the Indian originated firm as the largest firm in the world. This is one message which has come from there. As far as the ICAI concerned, a lot of things are happening over there. And wherever I feel beside the GST, beside the direct tax, our responsibility is also on the standards on auditing. And if we do not follow standards on auditing, probably again there is a problem. You might have gone through the various NFRA orders issued by NAFRA, and you would see there that the penalty is ranging from 5 lakh to 1 crore and 1.5 crore on the chartered accountant for non-compliance of standards on auditing. That if you have not complied with 505 third-party confirmations, documentations, 230, 580 written representations, and there are many other things. If you are not complied with all these standards, then you have to face those kind of challenges, and where NFRA is going to put such kind of penalty which we have to pay. And that makes a lot of difference. That brings a black patch on our practice, our name. My request would be like this, that beside becoming expert in GST, expert in direct tax, we must excel in the standards on auditing also. So we perform our duties because we are known as chartered accountants, as the auditors, and our prime duty is accounting as well as assurance. And when we are doing assurance, standards on auditing comes first. So my humble request to all of you, keep doing good things and take the audit or assurance business or profession as a serious one. With this, thank you very much for giving me a patient listening, and feel free at any point of time if you have anything which is required to be solved at the ICAI level, just I'm a call away 24/7 to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for wonderful deliberation. Now it's time to have introduction of our past chairman and highly learned personality, CA Manish Gadia, sir. I request Harshal Ajmera to introduce him.
Thank you, Saurabh. So, how is the Josh? So, how is the Josh? Yes, now it's little hot, high. So, whenever I think about cricket, like if India is opening or India is batting, who should be the opening batsman. Like in my mind, it could be Sachin Tendulkar or Sehwag. Sehwag, okay. So when it comes to GST, so we need a Virender Sehwag. And to personally, like me, the only name which comes to my mind is CA Manish Gadia sir, and it's a privilege for me to introduce him today. So Manish Gadia sir is a chartered accountant in practice since 1997 and a partner in GMJ and Company practicing in the field of GST. He is the co-author of various books like Statutory Obligation of Cooperative Housing Society, which is published by ICI. And today when we were discussing, we got to know that the first time book published on RERA is under the guidance of Manish Gadia sir. Hats off to you, sir, how you take out time for the profession. Apart from this, he is a co-author on Handbook on Valuation, Handbook on EPC Contracts, both published by Chamber of Tax Consultant. He was the chairman of WRC of ICI in the year 21-22. Earlier, he had attained leadership roles as a past chairman of PDC Committee, Study Circle Coordination Committee in the year 21-22. And in other various roles, he is serving the profession from so many years. He is the founder, convener, and core group member of JP Nagar CP Study Circle. So with this brief little introduction, I would request everyone a round of applause for our today's speaker, CA Manish Gadia sir. Now, I request Central Council member CA Durgeshji Kabra, Regional Council member CA Saurabh Ajmera to hand over a memento on behalf of Western India Regional Council to Manish Gadia sir. So I request Manish Gadia sir to take over the charge of the session.
Good evening, everyone. So first of all, I thank WIRC for giving me this opportunity to interact with all of you. So, GST was introduced in which year? 17. And now we have seen 7 years. So how's your experience? Very good. How will you rate it? So no experience at all. So how many of you are practicing in GST? Rest from industry? Great. So, since last 7 years, what we are seeing, that every time or every month some or other changes are coming. And one thing is constant in this world is change. So what we have to do whenever change will come? Adapt it. And before that, read, understand, and then to guide our client. What are the implications of the same? And many times whenever we gave any opinion to client in the past, then revise that opinion also. Yes or no? But anyway, this is a good area to practice. What I can say, the tribunal will be formed within a short span of time from now. So good area to practice also, I can say, good revenue, not only from for practitioner but also for government. we are seeing the revenue of the government has increased from where to where. First year it was 7 lakh some odd crore, and 23-24 it was 20 lakh crore. So almost 3 times in 7 years. So now coming to my topic, what are the recent changes or whatever has been proposed in 53rd GST Council meeting. So I will start with the circular which are already been issued, and I have seen that recently the government is coming out more and more clarification, more and more circulars. And since last 20 years of my practice in indirect tax, earlier in service tax and now GST, first time I am seeing that government is giving beneficiary circular also for taxpayers and taking a bold step. But whenever it again come to the implementation, difficult for the officers in some time or some officers to understand this circular also. But anyway, it is a bold step that government is taking and clarifying. The intentions are clear that they want to reduce the litigations to the extent it is possible. पर क्या लगता है litigations खत्म होंगे? नहीं, सो ये चलते ही रहने वाले हैं. So now the first circular what they have issued is in respect of whatever order has been issued, उसमें कौन से order के against में department can go into the appeal. So they have issued a circular and said that department will not go into the appeal in respect of GST tribunal if the monetary limit of 20 lakhs and or below 20 lakhs. So अगर tax demand जो है वो 19 लाख की है तो department will not go into the appeal. In case of High Court, it is 1 crore or less than 1 crore, and for Supreme Court it will be 2 crore or less than 2 crore, then department will not go. But again what we are discussing is the circular. What is the circular means? What is the meaning of circular? Instruction to the officer, or maybe the clarification, whatever. So maybe binding on the department, but court will strictly follow the same, not necessary. And definitely not binding on SSE. And इस तरीके के जो भी बेनिफिशियरी आते हैं सर्कुलर, उसमें एक स्टार मार्क होता है. आप कोई भी चीज़ खरीदने जाते हैं या कहीं पे भी आप देखते हैं 50% डिस्काउंट जुलाई के महीने में मिलता है ना, तो उसमें साथ में 50 के ऊपर एक छोटा सा स्टार मार्क होता है. यस और नो? सो क्या होता है, सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट वही होता है. करेक्ट? सो दिस इज द सेम. दे हैव गिवन द मॉनेटरी लिमिट कि 20 लाख के नीचे हम नहीं जाएंगे, 1 करोड़ के नीचे हाई कोर्ट में नहीं जाएंगे और 2 करोड़ के नीचे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में नहीं जाएंगे. एंड दे हैव गिवन द प्रेस रिलीज ऑल्सो ऑन 22 जून. वी वर वेरी हैप्पी. बट जब सर्कुलर को पढ़ा इट वॉज रियली सो. So then they said that this limit, monetary limit, will not only include tax, but will also include interest, penalty, late fees, erroneous refund. So GST में मेरा अगर 5 लाख का डिमांड होता है टैक्स का, सो इंटरेस्ट और पेनल्टी मिला के कितना हो जाता है? 100% पेनल्टी, 100% interest if it is for 5 years or maybe more than 5 years. Correct? So 20 lakh की अगर मैं लिमिट की बात करूं तो practically it is 6 to 7 lakh or maybe 5 lakh. Correct? Generally in other law, if you see the monetary limit, they include only tax portion. But this time they said that everything is in the monetary limit. So that is the first rider, that is the first terms and condition. सेल में जाते हैं तो खाली एक ही स्टार होता है. Yes or no? यहाँ पे multiple terms and conditions हैं. फिर second terms and condition. If where any of the following have been to be ultra virus, the decision to file appeal shall be taken on merit irrespective of the said monetary limit. Any provision of the act, any rules and regulation, any order, any notification, any circulars or any instructions. So what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Can I go to High Court for factual litigation? Nahi na? For which matter I will go to High Court? Interpretation of act, rules, then order, notification, circular, etc. So what is the meaning of putting a limit in case of High Court or Supreme Court? If you want to exclude this, so what kind of matter will go? So I'm just posing a question mark. I also do not have the answer, but really it is beneficial or not, difficult to say. Then further there are terms and conditions. ये तो है ही है. In the following circumstances, the decision to file appeal shall be taken on merits irrespective of the said monetary limit. Valuation of goods or services, classification of goods or services, refund, place of supply, any other issue. तो ये ऊपर के 4 में कवर क्या हुआ? एक ही सिंगल लाइन में दे देने का था, any issue. Then what is the meaning of giving a monetary limit? Further they are saying which is recurring in nature. So जिस तरीके से इस लिमिट को दिया है एंड इतना ओपन एंडेड दिया है, whether it will really benefit to the SSC. And what I see is that the major litigation may be on this circular only. कि अल्ट्रा वायरस है कि नहीं है, आप हाई कोर्ट में जा सकते हैं कि नहीं जा सकते हैं. So this is another opportunity. Supreme Court, officer or maybe commissioner. So that they are silent on the circular कि whom this power has been given to decide, whether the commissioner will decide, whether the council will decide, whether the chief commissioner will decide, or whether the superintendent will decide. Superintendent को decide करना है तो हर चीज अल्ट्रा वायरस ही है. So anyway, we have to see in future what is going to happen, क्योंकि अभी तक तो gestate ही ट्रिब्यूनल ही नहीं है, gestate ही नहीं है. तो जब वो फॉर्म होगी उसके बाद ये सब लिमिट्स पता चलेंगी कि really how they are going to take it. Where the strictures or adverse comment have been passed and or cost has been imposed against the government or department of their officers, then also this monetary limit will not applicable. When High Court or Supreme Court or any court will put cost to the department officers, when they are exceeding their powers. Otherwise कोर्ट जनरली डिपार्टमेंट ऑफिसर्स पे या डिपार्टमेंट पे कोई कॉस्ट इम्पोज नहीं करता है. तो एक तो आपने पहले से ही मिसयूज किया है पावर को, उसके लिए भी मॉनेटरी लिमिट नहीं लगेगा टू प्रोटेक्ट देम. I'll just share one reported judgment in case of service tax. In case of a Make My Trip, you all know Make My Trip, correct? So, in case of service tax era, उसका service tax audit हो गया 2 से 3 बार. उसके बाद DGGI ने जाके सर्च किया and they said that आपने टैक्स कम भरा है and they have arrested the CFO of the company. Service tax law at that point of time say that once you have collected the tax and not paid, then only arrest can be done. So there were limitation. The similar provisions are there in case of GST also, which was there in service tax. So if there is a audit has been done, so what the audit officers has done, if they have charged suppose 5% and it is department interpretation was that it should be 15%, so it means he has recovered only 5%, otherwise also arrest cannot be done, correct? So they have arrested him. After some time he got the bail and then he filed a suit again in the Delhi High Court on the officers and the department that they have violated the law. And first time High Court has put some penalty, personal penalty on the officers. Within a week time, department has filed appeal against this order. So, then what is the value of the any judgment given by the court? Even if the limit is more than 1 crore or maybe 2 crore, then also you can go and protect your officers doing the wrong thing. Anyway. And last condition they have put is any other case or class of cases where in the opinion of the board it is necessary to contest in the interest of justice or revenue. This I can understand. But what about this condition first? Who is going to decide? So all these issues or challenges are there as far as this circular is concerned. हमको अभी तक समझ में नहीं आया मेंस रिया क्या होता है. So many judgment of the Supreme Courts are there. Intention to evade tax, etc., etc. All this terminology. Still, department is fighting on this settled law itself. How this going to be settled? We have to see in future. Now coming to next circular, which is on place of supply. So there is a section 10(1)(CA) of IGST Act, which says that where the supply of goods is made to an unregistered person, the place of supply shall be if the location of the recipient is recorded on the invoice. If yes, then location of the recipient as recorded on the invoice. Otherwise, it will be location of the supplier. Correct? And further, they have made a clarification saying that recording the name of the state on the invoice will be treated as the address has been given. तो जरूरी नहीं है कि Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, BKC, Mumbai, Maharashtra has to be given. If it has been written ICI, Maharashtra, if it is unregistered, then also it will be treated as Maharashtra. Place of supply will be treated as Maharashtra if that institute is unregistered. So it is fair enough. Now the issue arose that location of the supplier is in Mumbai, billing address, the person who is purchasing the goods is from Kolkata, but he's saying you deliver this goods to my customer in Chennai. So in this scenario, two addresses are there on the invoice, Kolkata as well as Chennai, and the buyer is unregistered. Then what should be the place of supply? Delhi, Chennai or Kolkata? Kolkata? Everyone agree to this? कोई चेन्नई वाला भी है? एक, खाली एक ही बंदा है. दो, तीन, चार, okay. Good. So, first of all, we have to understand this is a circular. Correct? But before answering this, there is another section, 10(1)(b) of IGST Act, where the goods is supplied to a registered person. And there is a difference between billing address and the delivery address. There they have made a proviso to this, and they said that billing address will be the place of supply. Correct? So suppose in our example, if customer may be registered, then even though the goods has been supplied to Chennai, the place of supply will remain Kolkata. But conveniently, in case of unregistered customer, they are saying that place of delivery will be the place of supply. So legally correct or not, I don't know, but this is the circular, and which is binding on the department, and it is advisable that whatever has been given in the circular, you follow the same. So at least department will not go into the litigation against this. But if you go against that, then you have to invite the litigation. So then you have to check if there is a two different address, billing and delivery address. You have to check whether customer is registered. The answer will change. If customer is unregistered, then your answer will change. Then next is import of service. So there is a circular, there is a rule 28(1). What is 28(1)? No idea? When you supply goods or services to a related party or to a distinct person. Who is distinct person? Separate, same entity registered in a different state or maybe having a different GST. Is a distinct person. And related party we all know broadly, so I am not going into that detail. So there they are saying that first, if no invoice has been issued, then also GST is leviable if there is a transaction between distinct person and related person. And how to value that? That valuation mechanism has been given in Rule 28(1). We say that it should be open market value. If open market value is not available, then the value of supply of like kind and quality. And if it is both are not available, then it says the value is determined by application of Rule 30 and or 31. 30 there says that cost plus 10%, and 31 says that reasonable method. So I am not going into that detail because today this is not today's subject. Second proviso to Rule 28(1) says that if the full ITC is available to the recipient branch or maybe recipient company, then whatever may be the transaction value or whatever may be the invoice value will be accepted. So अगर मैंने ₹1,00,000 का माल 10,000 में दिया है या 10 लाख में दिया है, if full credit is available to my recipient, it will be accepted. This is the rule. Correct? Further, there is a section 31(3)(f) says that a registered person who is liable to pay GST under section 9(3) or 9(4). What is 9(3) or 9(4)? It means reverse charge mechanism. The recipient is liable to pay. Then he should issue a invoice on himself if the supplier is unregistered. So what we are discussing is the transaction of import of service. So definitely the supplier will be unregistered and the recipient entity in India definitely will be registered. So in this scenario, he has to issue a self-invoice, correct? And self-invoice has to be issued on the date of receipt of goods or services or both. So these are the provision. Then they have issued Circular 210, which clarifies on the valuation of supply of import of service related to so and so. But again, it has referred to a Circular 199/4/2023, which was issued last year. There they have said that when head office is supplying service to the branch office, so, and the branch office is liable to get the 100% credit. Full credit is available. So in that scenario, they have said that if full ITC is available, then whatever value is declared on the invoice will be accepted as per the second proviso of the Rule 28(1). It further says that in certain cases, if HO has not issued the invoice, which is as per Schedule 1, is liable for tax, correct? It is a related, it is a distinct person, liable for tax, no? So it says if invoice has not been issued, then how to value that? So circular clarifies that the value of such services may be deemed to be declared as nil. So maybe the open market value is 1 crore rupees. Since no invoice has been issued and full credit is available to the recipient branch, then the value will be treated as nil. So no GST shall be leviable on the same. Understood this provision? Correct? So bill issue नहीं किया है तो कुछ नहीं करना है, कोई टैक्स नहीं भरना है, कोई litigation नहीं है. In case of HO2 branch, this circular was issued last year. Now taking value analogy from here, this circular is in respect of distinct person, correct? Now what we are discussing here is related party transaction, but the applicable provisions are same Rule 28(1). Yes or no? So it says that if invoice has been issued by the real estate domestic entity, because in this scenario who will issue the invoice? Self-invoicing. Agar foreign party ne kiya bhi hai, to that is not a tax invoice. So it has no value as far as GST is concerned. So if he has generated the self-invoicing, if yes, the value of service shall be the value as declared in the invoice. And no, then the value of such invoice, the value of such service may be deemed to be nil. Correct? Fair enough? Understood? If where the full input tax credit is not available, if available, तो नहीं किया billing, नहीं payment किया, कोई issue नहीं. If full input tax credit is not available to the recipient subsidiary or related person, in that scenario, they are saying the value of supply of such service will be in accordance with Rule 28. Correct? What is Rule 28? It says the first open market value. If not available, then the value of supply of goods or services of like kind and quality. So this circular only clarifies that these are the two options available. If full credit is not available to the recipient company. But if I refer to the rule, which gives me third option also, which we have discussed. Correct, no? Value to be determined as per rule 30 or 31. That option is there, no? So that option they are missing here in circular. So to that extent, this circular is ultra virus to rule according to me. But anyway, this is giving a more clarification and putting a rest to the litigations, even if some litigations are there on RCM, if full input tax credit is available to the recipient. So I will say this is a welcome change or welcome circular. If you have any query related to any circular, anything, you can raise in between also. Now next is input tax credit. Time limit to avail ITC in respect of RCM supplies received from unregistered person. So we all know that there is a section 16(2). Yes or no? Which gives condition for availment of input tax credit. Section 16(2)(a) says that you will get credit only and only when you have a invoice, tax invoice. Correct? Yes or no? पता है या नहीं पता है? So अगर मेरे पास tax invoice नहीं है तो मुझे credit नहीं मिलेगा. भले ही वो मेरे 2B में दिख रहा है, सब कुछ है, तो भी I will not get the credit unless I have a copy of a invoice. Correct? This is the section 16(2)(a). So it says that either you should have an invoice, tax invoice, or debit note, or any other tax paying document as may be prescribed. So this has to be in your possession as per 16(2)(a). Then 31(3)(f) already we have seen that you have to do a self-invoicing if supplier is unregistered. If supplier is registered, even though if you are liable to pay under reverse charge mechanism, he will issue a tax invoice which will reflect in your 2B. Correct? And on that basis you will pay the tax and take the credit, claim the credit. So here I am not discussing where your supplier is registered. I am discussing where the supplier is unregistered and the recipient is registered and recipient is liable to pay the tax under reverse charge mechanism. So as per section 31(3)(f), self-invoicing is mandatory. There is another rule 36(1)(b) of CGST rule, which says that input tax credit shall be availed by registered person on the basis of an invoice or maybe a self-invoice commonly used, subject to payment of tax. Are you aware about this provision? So self-invoice hona chahiye in this scenario what we are discussing, and I will get the credit only and only when I will make the payment of tax. Till the time I will not make the payment of tax, I will not get the credit. ठीक है? And further section 31(3)(f) says that when this self-invoicing need to be issued, already discuss किया ना हमने, कब issue करना है? On the date of receipt of goods or service or both. Good. So I am just discussing the provisions first, then we will go what the clarification has been issued, so we will be on the same page. Then there is a section 16(4). ये तो शायद सबको पता होगा. What is 16(4)? Time limit to avail ITC. March 31st March 24, मतलब फाइनेंशियल ईयर 23-24 का कोई भी क्रेडिट में 30 नवंबर 24 के बाद में नहीं ले सकता हूं. दैट वी आर अवेयर. करेक्ट? So I am not going into again what is 16(4) because we all are aware. So take an example. If service has been received in the financial year 21-22, but the payment of the same has been made in the month of September 22, can I get the credit? I will get the credit. Another scenario. Service has been received in the year 21-22, but the payment has been made once the SCN has been issued और मेरा डिपार्टमेंट का ऑडिट हो गया या डिपार्टमेंट मेरे पास आ गया और उसने बोला अरे आपने तो पेमेंट ही नहीं किया है. करेक्ट. सो मैंने अभी 24-25 फाइनेंशियल ईयर में मई महीने में पेमेंट कर दिया 20 जून तक. कैन आई गेट द क्रेडिट? I am discussing where the under reverse charge I am liable to pay the tax. So definitely I have to pay the tax because that is my duty. But I have already paid in the month of June. Correct? But here the issue is whether I will get the credit of the same. Yes or no? Credit मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा? हाँ? मिलेगा? कैसे? 16(4) का टाइम लिमिट क्या है? वो तो चला गया. सो मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा? Payment has been done in this year. So this is the point of litigation, whether the credit should be available or not available. So different people, different consultants have a different views on the same. So now they have issued a circular 211 on 26 June, giving this scenario. And they said that, quoting all these provisions what we discussed, they said 36(1)(b) says that you will get the credit once you make the payment. Maybe you are liable to issue invoice in the year 21-22, but you have not issued the invoice. Here we are discussing the scenario, you have not paid, neither paid the tax nor issued the invoice. Of course, अगर issue invoice किया होता तो आपने tax भी payment करके credit ले लिया होता, because nothing is going from your own pocket. So 99.99% chances है कि आपने tax invoice ही issue नहीं किया. So the circular clarifies that, okay, whenever you are making a payment, issue the tax invoice, self invoice, and take the credit. तो 16(4) की लिमिट जिस दिन आपने टैक्स इनवॉइस इशू किया उस दिन से लगेगी. तो आपने अगर मई 24 में इशू किया तो आपको 30th November 25 तक you can take the credit, even though these services are pertaining to, or these goods may be pertaining to 21-22. So it emphasizes that if the revenue is compensated, and the further circular says that you have to pay the interest because you are liable to pay in 21-22. So you make the payment along with the interest. So interest you will not get any benefit, but whatever tax you are paying, you will get the benefit. So ultimately it is emphasized that if revenue is compensated with interest, for delay in discharge of tax liability under reverse charge mechanism, the credit should not be denied, because 36(1)(b) is saying that you will get the credit once you make the payment. That was the condition. It is clear. So why I am writing this in red is not given in the circular, but the intention of the circular is such. Because invoice तो मुझे 21-22 में करना था, correct? तो मेरा time limit तो expire हो जाना चाहिए था 16(4) का, but फिर भी they are issuing a circular in the benefit of SSE. So the intention is that revenue is losing nothing, then credit should not be denied. That is the punchline of this circular, what I want to highlight. There is a section 15(3) which talk about the discount. Correct? Which says आपने invoice पे कोई discount दिया है, 100 रुपए का invoice है, 50 rupees is discount, you have to pay the tax on 50 rupees. Correct? There may be another scenario. You entered into a contract with your customer कि आपने साल में मेरे से 1 करोड़ का माल लिया तो मैं आपको एडिशनल 5% डिस्काउंट दूंगा. It means any terms and condition to give discount is decided pre-supply, but discount will be given post-supply. Because मुझे पता ही नहीं ना 1 करोड़ का माल लेगा कि नहीं लेगा. It is conditional. Or maybe some quantity he will buy. Or maybe he will give me a cash payment, or within certain period if he will make the payment, then only I will give discount. Correct? So, discount decided pre-supply, given post-supply. So, in this scenario, the condition given in section 15(3)(b) is that such discount is established in terms of an agreement entered into before the time of supply. Such discount must be specifically linked to the relevant invoice. Can be linked. Correct? कौन से invoice में मेरा cross किया है उसने, उस हिसाब से I will link to all the invoice and I will give the credit note. So these two conditions can be fulfilled. By whom? Supplier. Third condition is that input tax credit attributable. Suppose I have issued the invoice of 100 rupees in the month of April. So definitely he must have taken the credit of 100 rupees. Correct? Now in the month of March, after the year end, or maybe within the toward the end of the year, if I am issuing a credit note of 5 rupees, so he must have taken credit of 100. Correct? I am reversing my liability of 5 rupees. So government को मिला कितना? 95. Government ने benefit कितना दिया? 100. So government is saying that the input tax credit attributable to such discount on the basis of document issued by the supplier has been duly reversed by the recipient. So मेरे कस्टमर ने ये 5 रुपए का क्रेडिट रिवर्स किया कि नहीं, मुझे कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? I have any mechanism? नहीं ना? 2B में 1 में कहीं पे मुझे दिखेगा? नहीं दिखेगा. कस्टमर को पूछेंगे तो वो क्या बोलेगा? कर दिया, कर देंगे, हो जाएगा. और जब डिपार्टमेंट आता है तो क्या बोलता है? In one of our case, department is saying that you have made this supply to B2C customer. उसने क्रेडिट रिवर्स किया कि नहीं वो प्रूव करो. How he can take the credit? उसके 2B में आया ही नहीं है. बोले I don't know. Provision says that he should reverse the credit. So you prove that he has reversed the credit. So now how to prove? That is the challenge. So they have accepted in this circular saying that there is no system, functionality or facility presently available. What is the meaning of presently available? मतलब आज की तारीख में नहीं है, but soon it will come. Last year में एक circular issue किया था, circular 199 what we were discussing some time back. There they have mentioned that ISD is not mandatory as of now. क्या किया next budget में? Mandatory कर दिया. So now they will soon come out with this functionality. But जब तक ये functionality नहीं आती है, so उसको कैसे credit देना है, उसके लिए उन्होंने दिया है, till the time of functionality or facility is made available on the common portal, the supplier may procure a certificate from the recipient of supply issued by chartered accountant or cost accountant, certifying that the recipient has made the required proportionate reversal of ITC at his end in respect of such credit note issued by the supplier. And what should contain? And that CA or CMA certificate, उस पे UDIN होना चाहिए. Details of the credit note होना चाहिए. Details of the relevant invoice number against which the said credit note has been issued. The amount of ITC reversed. And the details of form GST DRC 3 / return any other document through which this credit has been reversed. ये सब चीज़ें उसके सर्टिफिकेट पे होनी चाहिए. सो क्या करना है मुझे? मैंने अगर 25,000 रुपये का डिस्काउंट दिया तो भी मुझे CA सर्टिफिकेट लेना है कस्टमर से? नहीं, वही पूछ रहा हूँ. सो दे हैव सेड दैट अगर 5 लाख के नीचे है, so self certification from the recipient will be accepted. If it is more than 5 lakh, then this CA certificate is required. But self certification में भी ये सब चीज़ें होनी चाहिए जो उसमें लिखी हुई है. Yes sir. सर मैं आपकी बात से सहमत हूँ. होना लॉजिकली वही चाहिए. अब इसमें भी क्या होता है, कई बार प्रैक्टिकली हमने देखा है वो डेबिट नोट भी नहीं देता है. वो बोलता है कुछ नहीं देना है मुझे, तो मुझे इतना चाहिए. इफ़ कस्टमर सेंट्रिक मार्केट है तो उसमें वैसा ही होता है. इफ़ यू गो टू फार्मा, वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर मुझे कुछ नहीं करने का है. कैन वी हैव अ माइक? हाँ सर, यू कैन कंटिन्यू टिल दैट.
I was saying, even if he's not patient enough to issue a debit note to us, how can we expect him that he will procure a certificate from a CA or a cost accountant or a chartered accountant mentioning that how many invoices on which the debit note or this discount is applicable and how much amount, like it is a costly affair to him also.
Sir, you can see the picture. To answer your question. So my interpretation is that वो कस्टमर तो डेबिट नोट देने भी तैयार नहीं है, लेटर, सिंपल लेटर देने भी तैयार नहीं है. वो कहाँ से सर्टिफिकेट लाके देगा? मुझे नहीं लगता है कि देगा. सो मे बी हो सकता है 10%, 15%, 25% केस में इट मे बी पॉसिबल दैट यू विल गेट दिस काइंड ऑफ सर्टिफिकेट. But whether it is possible in 100% cases, I have my own doubt. Huh?
Can we issue a credit note without GST in that case?
No, you can always issue a credit note without GST. Many times what happen, वो बोलता है नहीं मेरे को तो यार आपने 118 रुपया लिया है, सो 95 का 5% ही मेरा, 18% ही आप लो, 5% मेरे को रिवर्स करो. वो करने को भी तैयार है, सर्टिफिकेट भी नहीं देता है. सो जब सम डिफिकल्टीज आर देयर, आई हैव नो सॉल्यूशन टू दिस, बट टू सम एक्सटेंट इट इज़ अ क्लैरिटी. बट अगेन दिस विल लीड टू अ लिटिगेशन इन मेनी केसेस बिकॉज कस्टमर विल नॉट गिव. और अब आज 7 साल के बाद ये इशू कर रहे हैं. 4 साल पहले का तो देगा कि नहीं देगा मुझे पता ही नहीं है. 4 साल का छोड़ो, करंट का दे दे तो बड़ी बात है. We should take. I am saying that whether any circular which is in your benefit सही है या गलत है, जहाँ आप फॉलो कर सकते हो कर लो. आपके समझो 25 कस्टमर हैं जिसको आपने इस तरीके से डिस्काउंट दिया, 5 देने को तैयार है, 5 का तो ले लो, तो उतना तो लिटिगेशन मेरा कम हो गया ना. Because practically, I understood. नहीं, मैं समझ गया सर. क्रेडिट नोट विदाउट GST तो आप कभी भी इशू कर सकते हो, डेबिट नोट की भी ज़रूरत नहीं है. और कस्टमर शुड एग्री, दैट इज़ द फर्स्ट थिंग. कस्टमर से डेबिट नोट विल नॉट गिव बिकॉज नाउ दे हैव गिवन दिस सर्कुलर. डिपार्टमेंट विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट. द इशू इज़ दैट पहले तो क्या है, कोई अच्छा ऑफिसर होता था तो डेबिट नोट के बेसिस पे मान जाता था, चलो मैं मान लेता हूँ. अब वो बोलेगा नहीं मुझे तो यही चाहिए बिकॉज बोर्ड हैज इशूड द सर्कुलर एंड विच इज़ बाइंडिंग ऑन मी. यू अंडरस्टूड?
The credit note has been issued for some clerical error, then the department should not expect that please provide a CA certificate. And what is the case of the renegotiation? That also will you please help us?
See, you can issue credit note. एक तो ये डिस्काउंट का अलग से सेक्शन 15(3) में दिया है, ठीक है, that what we were discussing. Another is in respect of credit note, this says that you can issue credit note only in 2 circumstances. One, there is a goods return, or there is some damage in the supply of goods or maybe a service. इसके अलावा आप क्रेडिट नोट इशू ही नहीं कर सकते. जीएसटी क्रेडिट नोट आई एम टॉकिंग. फाइनेंशियल क्रेडिट नोट तो आप कैसे भी इशू करो, उससे डिपार्टमेंट को कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. तो क्लेरिकल एरर का हाउ यू कैन इशू अ क्रेडिट नोट, that is again a challenge. So I am not going into detail because today, this is not my today's topic. We can discuss offline or maybe over a phone. You have my number. Yeah, I'll move to next is ESOP. What is ESOP? We all know. Yes or no? So take a scenario. There is a foreign holding company which is having a subsidiary in India, domestic subsidiary. And उस domestic subsidiary में काम करने के लिए उसके पास Indian employees हैं. You understood the fact? Now, to motivate employees, since domestic subsidiary is not listed, but holding company जो foreign की है वो बहुत बड़ी company है, so subsidiary ने कहा कि we will issue you or we will give ESOP of my foreign holding company. Possible है ना? Yes or no? So the transaction is between foreign holding company and the employee of the domestic Indian company. Both are unregistered. Correct? एम्प्लॉय तो अनरजिस्टर्ड ही होगा और फॉरेन कंपनी तो होल्डिंग कंपनी तो रजिस्टर्ड ही नहीं होगी. बट फॉरेन होल्डिंग कंपनी बोलती है ये तो तेरे एम्प्लॉय है, एसॉप तूने दिया, सो यू रिम्बर्स मी द अमाउंट ऑफ द सिक्योरिटी. डोमेस्टिक कंपनी इज रजिस्टर्ड. यस और नो? रजिस्टर्ड ही नहीं तो जीएसटी का हम डिस्कशन ही नहीं करेंगे. So he is registered. So now what will be the tax implication? So first of all, securities are not covered within the definition of goods, nor covered within the definition of service. Correct? GST is leviable only and only on the supply of goods or services or both. तो कहीं बैठ ही नहीं रहा है. Correct? So there is no supply. Domestic company इसका रिम्बर्समेंट कर रही है. तो what he is doing? He is buying a security which is not a supply. Employee of the domestic company is getting this benefit as per the terms of the employment. Correct? No? So whatever employee is getting as per the terms of the employment, which is neither supply of good nor supply of service, schedule 3. So this transaction will also not attract between subsidiary and employee. And between domestic subsidiary to the foreign holding company, also this transaction will not attract because security is neither supply of good nor supply of service. But there may be a possibility that foreign company ने 100 रुपए के शेयर दिए लेकिन उससे 2 रुपया या 5 रुपया या कुछ एक्स्ट्रा उसने और ले लिया over and above the valuation of value of that share. So that 2 rupees or 5 rupees will be leviable to tax under reverse charge mechanism. Correct? That consideration may be in respect of facilitating, arranging the transaction in security or share. That is leviable to tax. So now what is the meaning of this? Again it will lead to litigation. That Indian subsidiary company has to prove the valuation of the foreign holding company. If it is not listed, तो वो चैलेंज है. करेक्ट? लिस्टेड है तो इशू नहीं है. So maybe foreign company, maybe in the process of listing, maybe after 1 year, और उसके पहले ESOP दिया, तो क्या होगा? So again it will lead to a litigation. But in majority cases, it is a good clarification and will put to rest litigations which may have gone otherwise. Now next is unit link insurance policies. So we all know that there are unit link insurance policies. So कुछ portion मेरा unit में जाता है, कुछ portion मेरा insurance में जाता है. Insurance में जो portion जाता है उस पे वो GST भरता है, unit में जाता है उस पे GST नहीं भरता है, और उसका valuation mechanism उसने rule 32(4) में दिया हुआ है कि how to value then. Correct? So now there is a issue that he has collected 100 rupees from the insured and paying tax maybe only on 10 rupees or not paying tax on 90 rupees. Possible, na? Maybe 90 rupees, maybe 70 rupees, I am not going into that, but hypothetically we are saying, okay, 90 rupees मेरा investment में जा रहा है. So 90 rupees पे tax नहीं भर रहा वो. So GST should be reversed as per rule 42 or maybe rule 43 in that ratio. Yes or no? होगा नहीं होगा? होगा. So basically if you read rule 42, 43, or maybe if you read section 17(1), which says if you have a taxable supply or if you have a exempt supply, then you will fall under 17(1). Or maybe if there is a business supply or if there is a personal supply. तो personal supply तो है ही नहीं, ये तो business transaction है, तो हम उसको छोड़ देते हैं. Another possibility is taxable supply and exempt supply. What is exempt supply? Again, it has been defined. But this unit का पैसा वो कहाँ डाल रहे हैं? Equity में, which is a security, or maybe debenture में, again a security, which is neither supply of good nor supply of service. So whether that 90 rupees is exempt supply, no. So that what say they clarified in this circular, saying that the portion of premium which is not includable in taxable value as per provision of rule 32(4), the CGST rule is neither nil rated, not wholly exempted from tax under section 11, and also not a non-taxable supply. What is non-taxable supply? Liquor for human consumption and petroleum, 5 petroleum product. तो ये इसमें भी नहीं है. So then it is not an exempt supply. So ratio of 40:43, section 17(1) will not apply on that 90 rupees in our case what we were discussing. So it's a good clarification, I will say, and put to rest the litigation what the insurance companies are facing. Another clarification is in respect of insurance company only. दो possibility है. Insurance company से आपने मोटर कार का इंश्योरेंस कराया एंड आपने जीरो डेप आपने इंश्योरेंस किया एंड गाड़ी टोटल डैमेज हो गई. करेक्ट? सो उस पर जीएसटी का, तो उसमें जब टोटल डैमेज हो गई देन सम वैल्यू विल गेट, साल्वेज वैल्यू ऑफ द मोटर कार. उस पर जीएसटी की टैक्सेबिलिटी है कि नहीं? दैट इज द वन इशू विच दे हैव क्लैरिफाइड इन सर्कुलर 215. अनदर इज टोटली डैमेज नहीं हो गई और दो तरीके से हो सकती है. इंश्योरेंस कंपनी ने सर्विस सेंटर को ही डायरेक्ट रीइंबर्स कर दिया फॉर रिपेयर ऑफ मोटर कार. करेक्ट? या फिर उसने इंश्योर्ड को दे दिया पैसा इंश्योर्ड ने गैरेज को दे दिया, if it is not in cashless, and then insured will get the reimbursement afterwards from the insurance company. Both the scenario में GST तो चार्ज करेगा गैरेज, उसका क्रेडिट इंश्योरेंस कंपनी को मिलेगा कि नहीं. Understood? Two things we are discussing. One is salvage value पे GST की liability है कि नहीं, if total damage के केस में, और partial damage ही है तो रिपेयर के केस में ITC मिलेगा कि नहीं. Section 215 says that broadly, again in case of salvage, two possibility, value of salvage has been deducted from the claim amount. तो समझो उसका 5 लाख का टोटल वैल्यू था, उसने बोला ये साल्वेज है, आप ही अपने हिसाब से बेच दो इंश्योर्ड को, और 10,000 रुपया इज द साल्वेज वैल्यू, तो आई विल रिम्बर्स यू ओनली 4,90,000. So in such case, the ownership of that car or that salvage is not transferred to the insurance company. If it is not transferred, तो उसने सेल किया ही नहीं है. Once he has not sold, so no liability of GST. Second possibility, उसने पूरे का पूरा एज इट इज उठा लिया और उसको पूरा 5 लाख रुपया दे दिया, और फिर उसने उसको 10,000 रुपये में बेच दिया. So in this case, the ownership becomes of the insurance company, and on this 10,000, what in our case will be, GST will be liable to be paid by the insurance company, because then he is selling. And in case of a motor vehicle, repair of a motor vehicle, we all know that credit of the same is not available if sitting capacity is less than 13%. So हम ये समझ के चल रहे हैं कि मेरी कार ही है, उसका रिपेयरिंग का मेरे को रिम्बर्समेंट आया या उसने डायरेक्ट गैरेज को दे दिया. So it says that in case of ITC, in case of motor vehicle is available if there is a further supply of such motor vehicle, if it's transportation of passenger, or if he is imparting a training. This three scenario, credit of motor vehicle is available. Further it says that repair and maintenance shall not be available to this class of people, what we discussed in the earlier slide, except section 17(5)(a) says that except if above service are received by a taxable person engaged in the manufacture of such motor vehicle or in the supply of general insurance services in respect of such motor vehicle. So usko credit milega. That is specifically given in the section. But फिर भी डिपार्टमेंट ने इसके ऊपर नोटिस इशू किए हुए हैं, saying that repair and maintenance of motor vehicle ITC is not available. So now they have clarified that इसका ITC आपको मिलेगा, because specifically it has been given in section 17(5) itself. So now coming back to my first circular what we discussed, deciding the monetary limit, ultra virus or not. Anything which is specifically given in the act itself, I am not talking about a rule or circular. Then also litigations are already on, and board is forced to issue circular on this kind of issues. So उस केस में क्या होगा? You can just imagine. Now moving further, clarification in respect of GST liability of ITC availability in case of extended warranty. So they have issued circular 216 now, but उसके पहले उन्होंने एक circular issue किया था last year में 195 number का. In that circular, they have said that there is a case where the original equipment manufacturer offers warranty for the goods supplied by him to the customer and provides replacement of the parts and or repair services to the customer during the warranty period without separately charging any consideration at the time of such replacement or repair service. You understood the issue? मेरा ये मोबाइल है, 1 साल का उसने मुझे वारंटी दिया, ठीक है. 1 साल के अंदर अगर इसका कैमरा डैमेज हो गया तो मुझे वो कैमरा फ्री में रिप्लेस करके देगा, करेक्ट? Section 17(5)(h) says that if anything is given free तो ITC you need to reverse, पर उसमें certain terms and conditions हैं, given free of cost, etc. etc. But this is in the course of business. और अगर मेरा कोई भी पार्ट डैमेज होता है उसकी कॉस्ट ऑलरेडी ओरिजिनल प्राइस में इंक्लूडेड है. So this camera if he is replacing is not free, correct? So not fitting into 17(5)(h), I should get a credit, correct? So they have clarified कि you will get the credit, the manufacturer will get the credit of this camera if he is replacing free of cost under circular number 195. ठीक है, बराबर ना, क्लियर है? ये मेरा पूरा मोबाइल ही डैमेज था और बोला ये रिपेयर ही नहीं हो सकता, उसने मुझे को दूसरा मोबाइल ही दे दिया रिप्लेस करके, तो क्या होगा? तो सेकेंड पीस व्हाट ही हैज गिवन, ही हैज टू रिवर्स द आईटीसी ऑफ द सेम. यस चितलांगिया सर, क्या करना चाहिए? वारंटी पीरियड में आता है तो उसका आईटीसी रिवर्स नहीं होना चाहिए. जब कैमरे का आईटीसी रिवर्स नहीं हुआ तो फोन का भी नहीं होना चाहिए ना. So same logic should be applied, same provision of the law should be applied, or any two different interpretations are possible on this. Yes or no? But department has issued us notices saying that this circular is saying only camera replacement होगा, spare part replace होगा तो उसका ITC रिवर्स नहीं होगा, लेकिन आपको पूरा मोबाइल ही नया मिला तो ITC रिवर्स करना पड़ेगा, because circular is not talking about full product. So litigation कितने कम होंगे? GST में कितने litigations कम होंगे? So now they have issued another circular clarifying that जब स्पेयर पार्ट्स हमने कवर किया 195 में तो एंटायर गुड्स भी अगर रिप्लेस किया तो वो तो ऑटोमेटिकली कवर है. सिमिलर वे में ये तो मैन्युफैक्चरर ने खुद नहीं किया, हो सकता है कि सेकेंड पॉसिबिलिटी में वारंटी इसने दिया है बट इसके डीलर ने रिप्लेस किया और उसने फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट उसको मटेरियल सप्लाई कर दिया. दैट ऑल्सो पॉसिबल ना. तो अगेन उसमें भी वही इश्यू है कि पूरा मोबाइल किया तो क्या. सो नाउ दे हैव इशूड अ क्लैरिफिकेशन कि स्पेयर पार्ट किया तो भी क्रेडिट नहीं रिवर्सल होगा, पूरा मोबाइल किया डीलर ने या उसके सर्विस सेंटर ने और उसको फ्री रिप्लेसमेंट दिया मैन्युफैक्चरर ने तो भी क्रेडिट रिवर्सल नहीं होगा. So I'm not going into the detail of circular because you can read the circular. Material has already been shared with WIRC, so definitely they will share with you. Then next is the foreign affiliate service. Liability of the transaction of providing loan by an overseas affiliate to its Indian affiliate or a person to the related or by a person to a related person. होल्डिंग कंपनी ने सब्सिडरी कंपनी को लोन दे दिया. So section 17(1)(c) says that transaction between related person, even if transaction is nil, value is nil, charge किया कि नहीं किया, आपको GST तो पे करना है. Yes or no? That we already discussed ना. इसने लोन दे दिया और इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं लिया, फ्री में दे दिया, तो what will be the GST implication? That is the issue. If you read notification 12/2017, which gives the exemption in respect of services, entry 27A says that supply of services of granting loan, credit or advances, in so far as the consideration is represented by way of interest or discount, is fully exempt from GST. So what it's saying is that interest or discount is not a service. The service is giving loan is a service. Correct? And giving loan की service पे अगर आपको interest या discount आ रहा है, then it is a exempt supply. You understood? Now here, interest and discount तो कुछ आ ही नहीं रहे. Correct? Interest free loan है ना? Yes or no? And giving interest is a service. Giving loan is a service, sorry. Correct? That's what this entry indirectly says. So why GST should not be recovered on this? Where no consideration is charged by a person from whom the related person and extending the loan other than by way of interest or discount, it cannot be said that any supply of services being provided between the said related person in the form of processing or facilitating, administrating the loan, because nothing has been given. So they clarifying that no GST shall be leviable on such transaction. Instead of providing this circular, they should amend this entry and saying that giving loan is not a service, but getting interest or discount is a service. So issue ही निकल जाता. But again, litigation will be there, but to some extent this is a good circular and which will be beneficial. Then again, this is another circular they have issued in respect of telecom company, where they are taking a credit of duct or main hole for laying of optical fibers. So 17.5C and D says that if any civil work you are doing, then your credit is not available. If it is a plant and machinery, then credit is available. So this circular clarifies that this is a plant and machinery for the network companies. So credit will be available. Another issue is that in respect of custodian services provided by bank to foreign portfolio investor. So if we go to the place of supply, section 13.8a says that if any services provided by bank to its customer, then place of or the location of the supplier of service will be the place of supply. So अगर इंडियन बैंक अपने कस्टमर को, फॉरेन कस्टमर को कोई सर्विस दे रही है अकाउंट होल्डर को, तो प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई विल बी इन इंडिया एंड इंडियन बैंक विल बी लायबल टू पे GST. Now here the issue is that Indian bank is providing a portfolio, a custodian service to a foreign portfolio investor. So what should be the place of supply? So they clarified that he is not a customer of the bank, or he may be a customer of the bank, but he is not an account holder. So it will fall in normal circumstances. Since he is located outside India, the place of supply shall be the location of the customer and GST shall not be leviable on this transaction. Another clarification is in respect of HEM. So you want to discuss this HEM issue? If anyone is interested, I can skip because other provisions are also there. Again, this is clarifying time of supply of service for spectrum uses and other similar services, because now Government of India is selling a spectrum to the telecommunication company. What will be the time of supply? So ultimately it's clarified that whenever you are liable to, the telecom company is liable to pay the money to the government, because they are giving an installment also. So that will be the time of supply, not at the time of granting of spectrum, because it is a continuous supply of service. Another clarification they have issued in respect of manufacturer of pan masala, hookah, tobacco, gutka, etc. If anyone is interested, because Maharashtra, you are interested? So basically, this kind of companies are not liable to pay GST on the value of supply. They are liable to pay the GST on the capacity of packing capacity based on the machinery. So in this respect, they need to file a declaration. And while filing a declaration, there are certain issues they are facing. Like they have to make a make and model number. Year of purchase. मेरे पास 25 साल पुरानी मशीन है, 30 साल पुरानी मशीन में कहाँ से मेक और मॉडल निकालूंगा, मशीनरी नंबर किधर से निकालूंगा. Machinery number is mandatory for filling this form. So for this procedural thing, they have made a clarification कि इसमें आपको इसकी जगह पे ये लिख दो. That's all. Nothing great what they have given. Then again they are saying कि electricity consumption rating आपको देना है, each machine का कितना है. वो मैं कैसे find out करूँ? So they have clarified कि you take the chartered engineer certificate for that. No. Hookah and all that. Now next issue is that conditional waiver of interest and penalty. So we all know that in GST, for levy of penalty or recovery of tax or issuance of show cause notice, there are broadly two sections. Section 73. First is section 73. What is 73? Which says that if there is no fraud or full misstatement or suppression of fact, then notice will be issued in section 73. If there is a reason for fraud or willful misstatement or suppression of fact, then notice will be issued in section, because it is a bigger crime than 73. So these are the two different sections. Then time limit for issuance of show cause notice for section 73 is 3 years from the date of due date of filing of your annual return. For 74 it is 5 years. There are extended period is there. So actually that 3 years is for issuance of an order, and show cause notice to be issued at least 3 months prior to the issuance of order in case of 73, and in case of 74, 6 months prior to the order. So if I will go for year 2017-18, वो 3 साल को कोरोना बोल के उन्होंने extend किया. Whether it is correct or not, I am not going into that litigation because it is again a litigative point. But whatever they have extended, we presume that it is correct extension. So SCN का डेट था 30 सितंबर 23, ऑर्डर का डेट था 31 दिसंबर 23. 18-19 के लिए 31 जनवरी 24 एंड ऑर्डर के लिए 30 अप्रैल 24. एंड 1920 का SCN का डेट था 31 मई 24 एंड ऑर्डर के लिए ऑर्डर का टाइम अभी भी आपके पास बचा हुआ है. ठीक है. 74 में फिलहाल नहीं जा रहा. I have just given in the table that it will be for your ready reference. So they have they are planning that they will come out with a new section, insert section 128A in the GST Act, which they will come out in this month in a budget. And they said that whatever demand notices has been issued under section 73 for the year 17-18, 18-19 and 19-20. So basically 22 जून को they have decided, तो ये 3 साल के already show cause issue हो गए अगर होने थे तो. Now further notices cannot be issued under 73. Then if you make the payment of tax till 31st December 25, then no interest and penalty will be leviable. This is what they are intent to come out with a new section. So this is a good provision, or I can say amnesty. But there are certain challenges what I can see. I may not have an answer to this. But if this would have been clear by the government, maybe in the act, maybe proviso, or maybe while implementing the same, then it will be easier for the taxpayer. So suppose it may be possibility that order will already be issued, because 17, 18, 18, 19 के तो order issue करने का due date चला गया, तो already issued है वो तो. 19, 20 का भी 31st August है. जब तक act amend होगा, notified होगा, उसके पहले उसके भी order issue करने जरूरी है. Correct? So in case if an order has been already issued against this SCN, so two possibility, appeal file किया मैंने या नहीं किया. 1920 में हो सकता है मैं फाइल ही नहीं करूं, मेरे को लगा एसएससी को लगा कि मेरा तो ऐसे ही छूट गया, तो भी मुझे वो बेनिफिट मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. दैट क्लैरिफिकेशन नीड टू बी डन कि whether if I file an appeal, then also I will get the benefit. Only I am contesting the interest and penalty. And if I have not filed the appeal and ready to pay the tax amount, then also interest and penalty should be waived off. That clarification need to be done. There may be a possibility that audit has been conducted by the department, or maybe investigation has been conducted by the department, and SSC has already paid the tax, but interest or penalty pay ही नहीं किया, और उसका show cause ही issue नहीं हुआ. Then what will happen? Whether they will get the benefit. Yes or no? Because if we read the provision under the erstwhile law, excise law or GST law, service tax law, they say that अगर tax का demand नहीं किया तो interest और penalty का demand नहीं हो सकता. But there is not the similar provisions are not there in the GST law. You understood? The notice for interest and penalty can be issued under section 79 for this kind of cases. So what will happen in this kind of cases? That clarification is required. In certain cases, certain portion of demand is raised in SCN, has been dropped by the officer at the time of issuance of order. Will the waiver be available to the SSC on payment of such reduced tax demand? Because it says SCN has been issued and the tax has been paid. But कितना? वो clarification नहीं है. समझो मेरा 2 लाख का डिमांड था, ऑर्डर में उसने लाख ही किया, तो I should make the payment of 2 lakh or 1 lakh. Because the clarification जो हमने आज तक देखे, अभी तक देखे, entire day today, उस हिसाब से वो बोलेगा नहीं आपने तो लाख ही भरा है, 2 लाख का भरना चाहिए था. But there, what press release says is issued. SCN issued. वो बोलेगा SCN तो 2 लाख का इशू किया है. You understood? सर इसीलिए तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना सर कि मेरा एजुडिकेट हो गया तो कम से कम जो रिड्यूस डिमांड है उतना ही आप बात करो, वो क्लेरिफिकेशन दे दो. नहीं तो वो क्या होगा सर, जो कर विवाद समाधान स्कीम और ये सब जो आई थी उसके आज तक कोर्ट में केसेस चल रहे हैं. अभी तक हम सेस्टेट में और उधर फाइट कर रहे हैं उसको हाई कोर्ट में, इतना क्लियर सब कुछ प्रोसीजर देने के बावजूद भी. तो इस पे भी आप अननेसेसरी झगड़ा करते बैठेंगे. 11A सर मैं उतना डिटेल में नहीं जाना चाह रहा बिकॉज टाइम हो गया. इसीलिए मैंने कहा कि सर 11A में, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, सेक्शन 11A में उस तरीके के प्रोविज़न थे एक्साइज लॉ में. दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड कि एक्साइज में थे कि भाई अगर ओरिजिनल डिमांड ही नहीं डिमांड की तो आप इंटरेस्ट और पेनल्टी का डिमांड नहीं कर सकते. बट जीएसटी में सिमिलर प्रोविज़न नहीं है 11A. दैट इज मिसिंग. यू अंडरस्टूड? पर किया नहीं ना अभी तक. सो अगर मैंने टैक्स भर दिया और मेरे को 73 का नोटिस अभी तक नहीं आया, बट इंटरेस्ट का तो कर सकता है. इंटरेस्ट को तो 73 नहीं लगता है. सो दैट इज द चैलेंज. Sir, there are two sections, section 73 and section 74. ठीक है. 74 says that when there is an intention to evade tax, if you have collected the tax and not paid, so your intentions are malified. That is proved. So there is one section 132. There 4 types of cases are covered where they can arrest you also. I am again not going into that detail. So definitely all that 4 kind of cases where arrest can be done definitely fall in 74, not in 73. तो सर वो 74 में हुआ ना सर, वो 74 में हुआ तो इसके लिए प्रोविज़न नहीं लगेगा ना सर. वो एक अलग हो गया ना. अभी हम क्या इधर डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि नोटिस ऑलरेडी इश्यू हो चुका है अंडर सेक्शन 73. अंडरस्टूड? एक लास्ट सिनेरियो ये भी हो सकता है कि शो कॉज नोटिस ही मुझे 74 में इशू किया बट माय केस इज फॉलिंग अंडर 73, तो उसको ये बेनिफिट मिलेगा कि नहीं? बिकॉज प्रेस रिलीज सेज दैट नोटिस इशूड अंडर सेक्शन 73. सो ऑल दिस इश्यूज जो मुझे लगे आई हैव हाईलाइटेड, if this would not have been clarified, then again it will lead to litigation. The intention of the government is to reduce litigation, so they should clarify all these issues also. Again, government has proposed to reduce the pre-deposit amount for filing of an appeal. So currently GST में ट्रिब्यूनल में अपील करने के लिए मैक्सिमम 50 करोड़ है. सॉरी, तो उसको रिड्यूस करके 40 करोड़ करने का बात कर रहे हैं कमिश्नर अपील में. और ट्रिब्यूनल में 100 करोड़ का जो है मैक्सिमम, उसको दे वांट टू रिड्यूस फ्रॉम 100 करोड़ टू 40 करोड़. एंड ट्रिब्यूनल में 20% मैक्सिमम था, अभी नाउ दे वांट टू प्रपोज इट टू 10%. दे विल मेक अमेंडमेंट इन द एक्ट एंड दे विल डू इट. तो दिस विल बी अ बेनिफिशियल प्रोविजन फॉर एसएससी. Then again, ENA. What is ENA? Extra neutral alcohol. You are aware or not? So we are aware what is ENA. So ENA is used for making a liquor for human consumption, and at the same time used for medicine purpose also. जो कफ सिरप आती है उसमें अल्कोहल जो होता है वो ENA होता है. एंड कॉस्मेटिक प्रोडक्ट्स ऑल्सो, परफ्यूम है, स्प्रे है, उसमें सब में जो अल्कोहल होता है दैट इज ENA. सो इट हैज़ अ मल्टीपल यूज. ENA content 95% of alcohol or maybe more than that, minimum 95%. So, can you say that it can be consumed by human? if you will consume, immediately you will die. Because content of alcohol is 95%. तो बियर में कितना होता है? 7. विस्की में बराबर है. उसके ऊपर तो हम नहीं जा सकते ना, और यहाँ तो 95% है. Correct? So once we go to section 9, which says that alcoholic liquor for human consumption is not leviable to tax. So can ENA be fit into this? Answer is no. But India में सबसे ज़्यादा पैसा किसके पास है? लिकर वालों के पास ना. मेजर कंटेंट क्या, कंजम्पशन जो है उसका ENA का है. 17% तो है ना सर? Yes or no? So they have demanded to GST Council that you should exempt ENA from GST law. But ENA is used for cosmetic and medicine purpose also. This industry want that should be leviable to tax, so they will get a credit. Otherwise it will be costlier for them, no? So क्या करना चाहिए? So they decided कि ENA जो यूज होगा अल्कोहल के लिए, मतलब लीकर के लिए, उसको एग्जेम्प्ट कर देते हैं और इसको टैक्सेबल करते हैं. बट करने का कैसे? सो नाउ दे प्रपोज टू अमेंड सेक्शन 9 एंड दे सेज दैट ENA, if it is used, if it is supplied to liquor, then will be exempted. So now they are amending the law and they are moving that for which purpose this supply is going to use will decide the taxability. So again, a new Pandora box may be open. कि वो ENA लेके जा रहा है लीकर के लिए और यूज कर रहा है परफ्यूम के लिए, तो क्या होगा? So I'm not going into that detail. We all know that TCS need to be collected by e-commerce companies, na? So now they propose that 1% to 5.5% पे उसको reduce करने के लिए, because many supplier their cash accounts are becoming more because they are working on a very thin margin. So it is welcome change. Time limit for filing of appeal in GST appellate tribunal. It is not yet been set up. लॉ से इसे 3 महीने में भरना चाहिए, आपने अपील करना चाहिए. मेरे 7 साल के केसेस इकट्ठे हो गए. सो नाउ दे आर अमेंडिंग द एक्ट, सेक्शन 112, प्रपोज टू अमेंड द सेक्शन 112, एंड दे सेज दैट जिस दिन स्टेट फॉर्म होगा उसके 3 महीने में भी आपने भरा तो इट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज विद इन 3 months फ्रॉम द डेट ऑफ ऑर्डर. सो रियली इट इज बेनिफिशियल. मतलब 7 साल में मेरे जो केसेस इकट्ठे हो गए, सबकी अपील मुझे 3 महीने में डाल देनी है. तो मैं सब ऑफिस को ताला लगा के, दूसरे काम को ताला लगा कि मुझे यही काम करना है. ऐसा ही हो गया ना. हाउ मेनी अपील आई कैन फाइल विद इन 3 months? यस मैडम, यू आर सेइंग समथिंग. प्री डिपॉजिट का अमाउंट भी पे करना है, कैसे करेंगे? हो सकता है मेरे तो 3-3, 4-4 साल के अपीलें पेंडिंग हो एक SSC के केस में भी. सो ऑल दिस चैलेंजेस आर देयर. दे शुड गिव अ लॉन्गर पीरियड इन माय व्यू फॉर फर्स्ट टाइम. आई एम नॉट सेइंग 3 months को आप एक्सटेंड करो सबके लिए, बट जब आप फर्स्ट टाइम आपने GST ये अपीलेट ट्रिब्यूनल ही आपने डिले किया है फॉर्मेशन, सो यू शुड गिव दैट बेनिफिट, नो? इट इज प्रैक्टिकली इम्पॉसिबल, आई विल यूज द वर्ड इम्पॉसिबल to file within 3 months. पहली बात तो कब फॉर्म करोगे, SHC को पता भी चलना चाहिए ना. Then there is a relaxation of time limit for availment of input tax credit. So we all know that there is a time limit for 16(4). In the year 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, there were issues. People were not aware about 16.4. फिर उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन कैंसिल कर दिया सुओ मोटो बिना कोई नोटिस के डिपार्टमेंट ने इन मेनी केसेस. फिर एसएससी को 6 महीने के बाद समझा तो उसने जाके रिवोक कराया. तब तक मेरा 16.4 का टाइम लिमिट चला गया. देन डिपार्टमेंट इशूड शो कॉज नोटिस कि मैं आपको उसका क्रेडिट दूंगा ही नहीं. Many such cases are there. So now they are amending section 16.4, proposed to amend 16.4, and they are saying that 17-18, 18-19, 19-20 or 20-21. So maybe up to financial 2021, if you have claimed a credit till 30th November 2021, you will get the 16.4 ki, it will be within the time limit of section 16.4. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? मैं एक ऑनेस्ट टैक्स पेयर हूं. 1920 में मेरा 16.4 का टाइम लिमिट चला गया तो मैंने वो क्रेडिट ही क्लेम नहीं किया, क्योंकि 17-18 में मैंने टाइम लिमिट क्रॉस होने के बाद क्लेम किया. उसका मेरे को उसने शो कॉज नोटिस भेज दिया विद इंटरेस्ट एंड विद पेनल्टी. करेक्ट. सो मैंने 19-20 का क्लेम ही नहीं किया. कैन आई क्लेम नाउ? सो होम दे आर गिविंग बेनिफिट. अगर ये सब पहले ही करना था तो पहले ही दे देते ना. कोरोना के टाइम पे इंडस्ट्री ने कितना ह्यू एंड क्राई किया कि यू एक्सटेंड दिस लिमिट, यू एक्सटेंड ऑल द लिमिट. वो तो रिफंड देने वाले नहीं है ना सर. पेनल्टी भी भर दिया है कोई कोई ने, उसका क्या होगा? तो उसको क्या आईटीसी वापस देंगे 16.4 में कि नहीं देंगे? मुझे नहीं पता. तो ऑफ कोर्स नहीं मिलेगा. सो व्हाई दिस काइंड ऑफ दे आर इशूइंग आफ्टर 3 years 4 years? दे शुड टेक एक्शन एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम ना, इफ दे रियली वांट टू गिव द बेनिफिट. यही अगर 30 नवंबर 21 के पहले इशू किया होता तो एसएससी वुड हैव टेकन द क्रेडिट. सर वो तो एक अलग इशू है. सर वो मेरा आज टुडेज टॉपिक नहीं है, बट ब्रीफली आई विल से दैट up to 31st December 21, in my view 2A has no relevance. Only and only on the basis of the credit is not available in 2A, credit cannot be denied if I am satisfying all the conditions of section 16.2. We can discuss maybe after the session. What will happen in the cases where SCN order already has been issued और मेरे से इंटरेस्ट और पेनल्टी के साथ में पैसा भी वसूल लिया उसने? 17-18 का 18-19 का तो ऑर्डर ऑलरेडी इशू हो गया 73 में मुझे, और इंटरेस्ट पेनल्टी के साथ ऑलरेडी इसका वसूल लिया. बोले 16.4 में अलाउड नहीं है, तो क्या मुझे वापस रिफंड देने वाले हैं? देयर इज नो सच प्रोविजन दे हैव मेंशन्ड इन द प्रेस रिलीज एट लीस्ट कि वी विल गिव रिफंड. और अगेन रिफंड लेना है तो फिर उसका सेटिस्फेक्शन लेवल और वो सब यू हैव टू मैच. Again, they are extending the due date for filing of GSTR 4 for composite dealer from April to June. I am not going into detail of the same. This is interesting provision that we all know that मैंने कैश से पेमेंट कर दिया, कैश लेजर में there is a balance, but due to some reason I have not filed my GSTR 3B on time. Then I have to pay the interest. Correct? So take scenario 1. My total liability is 25 lakh. Amount available in electronic cash ledger on the due date of filing of return is 20 lakhs. But currently I am liable to pay GST on 25 lakh. Now they are proposing that only on the 5 lakh GST interest will be recovered. So अगर आपके कैश लेजर में बैलेंस है and if you are delaying the return filing, then whatever amount you are paying later on that only you are liable to pay the interest, which is fair enough also. and which is ordered by the court also. So now they have accepted gracefully. Suppose मैंने कुछ export किया $100 में, later on it is negotiated with the customer and he has paid me $110. I can claim refund in case of export, either refund of ITC or I can export the goods after payment of, with payment of GST, and then I will claim the GST. तो $100 पे $18 का मुझे refund मिलेगा, correct? $18 I will pay and I will claim the refund. So now in this scenario, if it has been upward revised, the $10 extra I am getting. So what will happen? उसका भी मुझे टैक्स तो भरना है, ₹1 $1.8. So department was denying the refund of this $1.8. So now they will come out with the mechanism how we will get the refund of this $1.8. Again, October 23, they have issued, they have amended the Rule 28, and they said in case of corporate guarantee, 1% pay you have to pay the, will be treated as a taxable value, and you have to pay the GST. Now, they are proposing that they will amend the law or maybe amend the rule, basically amend the rule for which notification has been not been issued, but they say that if the recipient company is going to get full credit, then even if that 1% पे GST नहीं pay किया, then it will be accepted. So it is a welcome change. Now, they are proposing that they will come out with form GSTR 1A. So we all know what is GSTR 1. I have to file within up to 11th. And 14th को मेरे customer के 2B में credit दिखता है, and उसके basis पे he can claim the credit. But there may be a possibility that while filing his GSTR 1, my supplier has not uploaded my invoice or maybe some of my invoice. So will not be uploaded in, will not come in 2B. तो 14 तारीख को I will prompt my supplier कि अरे 4 बिल आपने डाले ही नहीं है, इसका credit किधर गया? So what he can do? He can amend in the next GSTR 1. So I will get the credit in the next month. Now they are saying that 11 से लेके 20 तारीख के बीच में GSTR 1 can be uploaded by my supplier if any mistake has been done in the GSTR 1. How it's going to function, I am still not clear. Suppose 14 तारीख को 2B में मुझे नहीं दिखा क्रेडिट, तो मैंने उसको बोला और उसने 17 तारीख को अपलोड कर दिया, तो मुझे क्या 2B में वापस दिख जाएगा? नहीं, स्टैटिक है तो नहीं दिखेगा. तो वैसे भी अगले महीने मुझे देता तो क्रेडिट तो अगले महीने भी मिलना था. तो व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ 1A? यू गॉट माई पॉइंट? सर पेमेंट डिले हो गया तो समझो मैं अगले महीने के 1 में दिखाता और अगले महीने 3B में पेमेंट करता. नहीं, पार्टी कहाँ रिलीज करेगी? वो बोले मुझे क्रेडिट तो अगले महीने मिला ना. सर वो तो पता नहीं. आई डोंट नो वेदर दिस विल रियली बेनिफिट और नॉट. आई एम रियली नॉट क्लियर ऑन दिस, बट this is the what they have proposed. So let's see. Another thing is I already discussed that there is a time limit for issuance of show cause notice under 73 is 3 years, 74 is 5 years. Now they are saying we will have a common due date for issuance of show cause notice under both the sections. So what is the meaning of this? 5 का 3 तो नहीं करने वाले ना. Again, in case of export of goods or services, export of goods, I can claim the refund of any goods whatever I am exporting. Refund of tax or maybe the refund of ITC. Correct? Now they are proposing to amend section 16 of IGST Act and saying that refund आपको खाली उसी product का मिलेगा जिस पे कि export duty नहीं है. Because many time government restrict certain product which are important for domestic consumption. So you can't export. To discourage that export, they will levy export duty. But उसका भी मुझे refund मिल जा रहा था. So now they are proposing to restrict the same. GSTR 7 is the form need to be filed by the central government for deducting TDS. So अगर किसी महीने में कोई TDS deduct नहीं किया, so they were not filing a GSTR 7. Now it is proposing, they are proposing that GSTR 7 need to be filed every month in case of nil also. So it is a good change, I will say. They have proposed to make changes in GST rate. I am not going, it is given in my handout. So you can read and understand because nothing more to explain on the same. Annual return for financial year 23-24, 2 crore के नीचे again they are continuing to make this exempt. They will issue a notification on the same. These are some of the provisions which may not be so much interest to all, so I am not going into detail of the same. So whatever I discussed today was my opinions or views, and opinions or views are like wristwatches. Every watch shows different time from others, but everyone believes that their time is right. I thank all of you for a patient hearing, and I thank WIRC for giving me this opportunity. At the same time, I also thank Nimit, if you can stand up, for making this presentation. So जो भी मैंने कहा शब्द मेरे थे, बाकी सब मेहनत उसकी थी. Thank you.
It's absolutely our pleasure, sir, to have you here. So on behalf of WRC and on behalf of all the attendees who is wonderfully listening, and it's like, sir, when you are teaching, it's like you are in a classroom, or we all are in a classroom. You are asking after each clause and each section that everyone got the answer. If any query, you can ask immediately. So it's a wonderful interactive session, I would like to say, and not a one-way. The 53 Council has so many circulars and a clarification, and Madam is also humble in the press conference, what we have seen. So, but still there are so many ambiguities and there are so many confusion still there when we have heard from the expert. So obviously we as in professional have many opportunities in that also, as in positive side. So with this, we are thank you so much for making this in simple and a very speaking presentation. Thank you to Nimit also, speaking presentation. Thank you once again. With this, we are concluding our today's session. Thank you all.